Before we get into specific kinds of correlation, I want to take a step back and talk about correlation more generally. Correlation means we're looking for a relationship or association between two variables. And what we're measuring is the extent that two variables have a linear relationship. The measurement is called R. That's the correlation coefficient. That tells you how linear the relationship is. So a perfect positive correlation means that if you plot the pairs of values, you get a straight line with a positive slope. A perfect negative correlation means that you're getting, when you plot the values, you get a line with a negative slope. It doesn't say anything about how steep that slope is. It just says that the slope is either greater than 0 or less than 0. The kinds of correlation we're going to discuss in this class are for linear relationships only. So things that have this curvilinear relationship, we're not going to be considering. And correlated does not mean identical. And this is a concept we talked about a little bit when we talked about psychometrics. If we're measuring reliability of something, of an instrument, and we're using the same instrument twice, so it's the same units, same person, or same group of people, and we're using the same instrument, we would expect those scores to be nearly identical, not just correlated, but nearly identical. And depending on the kind of correlation you use, you may not be, you're probably not getting that identicalness. If two measures or two variables are linearly related, they can have a high correlation even if they're not anywhere close to identical. In general, there's not a good reason to discard outlying values. If a paper says that they omitted outliers, then they should explain why. If there's some causal factor, something that clearly distinguishes one or two values as outliers that were not really part of the data set, then fine, you can take them out. But otherwise, if there's not that clear justification, all the data should be left in a correlation calculation.